Hey guys, Cokie here, and I'm playing as Tarek in this game. I'm doing a voiceover for this one because I didn't record initially sound. I think it was kind of late, and I didn't want to wake anybody. But I was playing as Tarek, and I started recording a little late also. But you know, I wanted to make this video more of in response to like ragers and trollers and people that they don't want to get out of their ELO, but they're having a hard time and they're taking it out on everybody else. I know I'm not especially qualified to speak on this because I'm only silver 5. I did get to silver, and I might not even deserve it. You know, I might have gotten carried. I am in my promos for silver 4 at the time of this recording. But you know, there are just some things that you have to think aren't going to get you to a higher elo, like raging and trolling and rage quitting and all those other things. Like, in this game, I think is not a bad example because this Draven that I'm playing with is kind of a douchebag, you know, just to put it plainly. He gave me a lot of crap, and I actually I supported him really well, I think, you know, from what I saw and what I think I'm capable of. I think I was pretty close, and you know, it's just things like this are the reasons that you lose games, and people get so just pissed off about just the weirdest things. Like, I'm making this specifically because I was playing with this guy. I was playing as the carry, and he was playing as Kazakhs, and he was not feeding too bad, but he was like 6 and 8 or something like that. But he's just reaming me because I was 15 and 6. And he's telling me that I was a massive feeder and that I was garbage. And I think the other ADC had like 12 deaths or something like that and only 10 kills. And there was an Akali roaming around top or mid. I can't remember where she went. But, you know, he didn't do anything to stop her. And then, you know, she got really fed, and so of course she melted me real fast because I was a carry, and of course I have the most kills on the team, so it just makes sense to focus me. And he's getting really upset because I was dying less than him and also getting more kills than he was, but somehow I was worse in the sense I may be worse than this guy. I might be terrible. Like, I did kind of try to vindicate myself by looking up his stats, and he had like 600 games, and he was in bronze 4, and I have like 150 games, and I'm in silver 5 and climbing, and I've been climbing for the past like month and a half, and it's I don't understand. Well, you know, why, if you want to actually climb the ranks, you would listen to the sage advice of others that have done it. I personally look at ankle spanking and ZZ Legendary a lot. I think that ZZ Legendary is incredibly informative. I think he's really, really good at this game. He's played for a long time. He knows his stuff, and he must know every champion and how to play against every single one. He's so good at this game. He did a escaping ELO Hell series, and you know, he just knows how all the champions work so much better than these bronze players that he's playing against. And that's, you know, kind of what it takes to get out of bronze. I was as I was climbing my way up, you know, I had to practice. Honestly, you have to do like grinding practice things where you just kind of try to get better at all aspects of the game. And that way you'll start to carry your games. You'll make more plays, and you'll start to win. And I think the biggest mistake that I see people making in games is their KDA. Like, it's important to have a good KDA, and I like having good KDA, but I like winning more than I like having a ton of kills. And winning is the only thing that really shows, you know. I mean, people can say that you were carried your whole way up, but honestly, like, if you have, well above 50% win rate, there's got to be something that you are doing. I can't say for sure yet how things are going to go for me. I have a lot of games left before I kind of settle in and get used to ranked. I know 150 isn't a lot, but we'll see where it goes. But I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you think that you don't belong in bronze, you should be able to get out of it in 300 or 400 games at the absolute most, If you're really good at this game, you're going to carry yourself out faster. I was bad. I was really bad at this game when I started. I think I played, a dozen games when I first started playing before I got a single kill. Like, I just fed every single game, and I lost to, like, beginner bots. My friends and I all got together and played against beginner bots, and we lost. That's how bad we were at this game. And if you want to not be in bronze, you have to practice. You have to practice, and and it's like, and I hate when people win their promos and just go straight into silver, and then they think that they're awesome, and they stay at silver 5 with 0 points forever. It's just, you're not silver 5 if you're not silver if you're losing every single game in silver and not getting kicked out. Or if you're just letting your account go inactive and not playing at all. You have to play. I think that not playing ranked is the worst way to hang on to a rating, and it's not a true reflection of your skill. Right now, I would say that I am silver 5. I have the status to back it up, is what I'm trying to say. So if you are not good at this game, then you're going to be in bronze. And if you are better at this game, then you're not going to be in bronze. If you aren't willing to learn how to get out of bronze, then you're going to stay in bronze forever. Like, there's so many things to do to get better at, and you don't do it by just jumping in a queue and going, It takes more than that. You have to, like, I practice CSing. I literally queue up, or I go into a bot game, a custom bot game, just me versus a bot, and I practice getting creep score, and it's made me better at getting creep score, and that gives me more money. You win this game by getting items faster than your opponents can. If you can get items faster than your opponent can, then you're going to do more damage than they can do. You're going to have better, you're going to have better damage, you're going to have better armor or health or whatever, and that's going to, make an impact on the game more than, I I don't want to say individual skill, but honestly, like if two people are equal in individual skill, the one with more gold is going to be the winner. So if you are either getting your team more gold or you are getting more gold and getting better items, then you're going to advance in the game faster. You're going to get more turrets, and getting more turrets gets you to the Nexus, and getting in the Nexus is the only way to win. Like, honestly, people that live to get 20 kills and 3 deaths are just the opposite of what you need to have to climb the ELO. It's not the way the game's set up. You don't get more league points for having better stats through the game. You get more league points by winning more games over and over and over again. I think I got 26 points in a couple of my silver games because I don't know, because I won so many in a row in bronze. If you just keep on winning over and over and over again, then the system wants you to be out of bronze. Like, you're gonna get 20 points on a win and only lose 10 on a loss if you've been winning and winning and winning. You know, if you are winning 50% of your games, then you're gonna get 8 points on a win and 8 points on a loss. And if you're losing real bad, then you're gonna get 5 points on a win and lose 15 on a loss or something, you know? I went from bronze 2 down to bronze 4 when I started playing in ranked because I was bad. I'm just bad. There's no other way to put it. I was crappy. I fed like hell, and my teammates were always pissed, and you know, and I thought, oh, it's just ELO Hell, you know, I'll just get out of it. But honestly, if you are not so much better than the enemy team, you're not going to be able to carry your own team, because unless they are straight up trolling or AFKing or something like that, then your teammates should roughly be about the same skill as the people that you're playing against. That's how the system's set up. So if you are that much better, you're going to be a factor for winning the game. I'm trying to look if there's a good example of that at all in this game, but I don't feel like there is. Well, here this Leona really kind of screws up because we can take the turret, and I stunned her. I don't know why he's decided that he wanted to get off the turret, and that gets us both killed probably. I don't know, but you know, it's things like that. You know, you start to make a good play, and that's all it takes. You know, if your team can. Oh, it looks like I'm pissed at Draven or something. I don't know. I can't read it. It's really small. Anyways, if you can make some good plays and get your team fed, your KDA isn't going to matter. Like, you could, if you feed some crappy person on your team, if you feed the worst person on your team, they are going to be, you know, your team is going to be that much stronger because your team's only as strong as your weakest person. You know, we've heard it. It should be so cliche by now, but it's so true. If you help the worst person on your team get super fed and get confident, then your team is going to do that much better than the enemy team because your worst person is as good as their second best person or their best person or something, you know? And then there's just nothing the other team is going to be able to do. And they're going to rage. They're going to troll. They're going to quit, AFK. People are just going to go, you know, like people do and get frustrated. And that's going to be an end of it. You're going to win the game. And that's pretty much how I won all my games when I thought I was in escaping ELO Hell. I wasn't escaping ELO Hell. I was just better than the players around me. A lot of my friends are bronze still, and one of my friends, he doesn't play ranked ever. Like, he hates it because there are a bunch of really bad people in your leagues. But so he's bronze 4, and I feel like I've been getting better, and so I jumped into a queue with him one day, and I played as Jax, who's albeit a very, very easy champion, but I got steamrolling, and I got 35 kills, and I carried our team, who was feeding. Our entire team was feeding. I think we had like 45 kills in the whole game, and I was 35 of them, so they had 10 kills between the rest of them. And the enemy team was all spread out pretty well. It's just, I got myself so fed. I got so many items over the other team that I was able to deal out just tons more damage. And if you know your build, then you can get lots of sustain, and you just don't have to worry about the enemy team and your team. You don't have to worry about your team and how bad they're going to do, because you are going to be able to go through and 1v5 their whole team. Like a lot of pros have put their Smurf games in bronze up on the internet to watch. And when they go... Sorry, hang on 1 second. Ruby for vigor. Alright, sorry about that. I was talking about Pro Smurfs. They showed Double Lift and his... bot lane partner going in bronze queue, and they just wrecked everybody. Like Double Lift at mid game, I think killed I think he got a quadra kill all by himself. Like, I know that's an extreme example, but if you're good at this game, you're going to be able to walk through your enemies no problem and get lots of kills and get more gold and get more fed and win yourself the game. That Jax game, I pretty much pushed all the inhibitors by myself, and I think we ended up getting like Baron or something like that. And my team was able to help me push the Nexus turrets and get the Nexus. But honestly, I think I would have been able to push the Nexus no problem by myself, because I was seriously so fed. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to get into a bronze queue in ranked once you're better, and you're going to just be able to walk through the enemy team. Like, I never got 35 kills in ranked, in bronze. I think I would average actually less than 10. But your KDA, like I said, isn't the biggest factor. It's getting CS, getting turrets, and at bronze level, figuring out what champs you need to run and what builds you need to put on them, because a lot of people do build wrong in bronze. It's kind of an issue, actually. A lot of people get really stupid builds, and it's not like it's the most important thing if you're good. A lot of items. Just having a lot of items is better than having no items, like the enemy team will have. But building, if you are wanting to get, out of bronze 5 and, playing with people that you think that you're as good as in upper bronze or low silver, then your build will help you if you figure out what you need to rush on what champions. And but honestly, like, there's more important things in the game. I know I just said that it's an important thing to do, to figure out, but it's getting back to the original thing I started talking about in this video. I've kind of gotten off track. It's the ragers and the trollers and the feeders and the AFKers. It's really the ragers and the trollers that make this game not fun to play. Feeders, honestly, if I have somebody feeding on my team, hey, I got matched with somebody that's not as good as me. Or if I'm feeding, I got matched with people that are better than me. And that's the end of it. It's not anything to get yourself all worked up about, or yell at people, or call them douchebags, or whatever. Hide behind your computer and make fun of people. Don't be a rager or a troller. That's what I'm trying to say. And you'll look at actually how to win games, and you'll look at how to play, and you'll get better. Like, instead of just blaming your teammates on everything, because it's really easy to blame other people when you have a less than 50% win rate. And it's really stupid, I think, to blame people when you have a less than 50% win rate and you're blaming people that have a more than 50% win rate. I think it's stupid to blame people if you have a more than 50% win rate and they have a less than 50% win rate. You should be playing your best to help your team win the game. If you can't, then you can't. If you can, then you can. It's just, I think people get in their minds that they can, through concerted mental will, change the outcomes of all sorts of things if they just focus harder or get more frustrated or something. It's not the case. Keep yourself chill. If you're having a bad game in the laning, think about positive things. Think about how you're gonna take this to the late game, how you're gonna take it to team fights. Some team comps are really bad laning and really amazing in team fights. It's just the way the game is. It's not anything to get really worked up and start raging over. Or if you go 0-2, don't AFK, rage quit. That's stupid. Like, who knows? There's a ton of champs that have bad early games, and there's a ton of people that pick champs that have really strong early games and really bad late games, and honestly, they might not be thinking it's a psychological tactic, but it totally is. If you can get somebody to rage quit who's playing like Nasus or something like that, who is doesn't have their stacks up, isn't tanky yet, if you can get a rage quit, it's a 4v5, and that's the end of the game. It's going to be really, really hard for a person who's good to carry a 4v5. It's possible. It's totally possible. I think I've carried a 4v5 before. Or me and another person who was good, better than bronze. I've carried a 4v5 together. I don't know. You just don't know. But just don't AFK. And you'll never have to worry about that. It's not that hard to just stick the game out, even if you're doing bad. You learn the most when you are sitting back thinking, what am I going to do next to not be so bad at this game, If I was playing bad this game, which I don't believe I am, I know we win. I know I do all right for Draven. I think I get pretty fed myself actually. But you know, if I was playing bad, I'd be like, what can I do during the team fights? You know, to get the fed people on my team getting kills, to get the people that are going to be able to push the towers best, you know, doing that, pushing towers, or, you know, how are we going to get Dragon next? How are we going to get Baron? How are we going to get ourselves in a situation to get Baron? You know, that's the things that you need to think about. It's not thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm feeding so hard. You know, don't worry about that. Feeding hard is just, it's going to happen. Somebody is going to feed somebody else every single game. There's never been a situation where nobody gets fed in a league game. And everybody has fed and everybody gets fed. It's just the nature of the game. And if you're going to lose, you know, you honestly might be able to stop it by not being such a douchebag. And then you'll get more wins and you'll climb your ELO. But honestly, going along with not being a rager and a troller would be just to not, like, I don't want to say not care about your ELO, because I definitely care about my ELO, but I don't care as much as I think other people do. You have to want to get better at the game. Think, how am I going to have a stronger laning phase? How am I going to have a stronger mid game? How am I going to have a stronger late game? How am I going to push turrets better against, you know, players that are, you know, having situations where I'm not going to be able to push turrets? How am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to be able to do that? It's thinking about these things that's going to make you not suck at this game. Like you might not be able to get as high as you want to, and you know what, honestly, if you're watching this video and you want to become challenger, you're probably not going to. Some people might get to diamond. There's not very many people on diamond though. Honestly, there's like, I think 90% of the players in the game are in silver or bronze. So if you're getting yourself into gold, that's quite the accomplishment. So you'd have to practice. You know, you'd have to really work at it. Some people have gotten themselves into gold or platinum or diamond, no problem, I guess. But you know, for the average person, it's just not going to be as easy for. You know, it's hard to climb these things when you're just an average gamer, you know. It's not like it's any it's not a walk in the park. It's not, you know, you don't just get up and get on League and just start winning. You have to think, and you have to practice, and you have to get better, and you have to improve yourself. And if you're just thinking, I'm going to get myself out of ELO Hell, that's not the right mindset. You got to be thinking about other things. You got to be thinking about how you can get better at the game. That is the sure way to get yourself out of ELO Hell. If that's your goal, is to get better at the game. Getting better at the game is going to be the thing that will make you, and not only get out of ELO Hell, it'll make you get into, you know, a better rank than you initially thought you were going to be in. Like you know, when I set out, I didn't really have a goal. I just didn't want to be in bronze anymore, because bronze is kind of like the pariah of the league world. And you know what, now looking at it, honestly, it's not that bad to be in bronze. Some people have to be in bronze, you know. It's just the way the ranking system works. Half the games are going to be won, half the games are going to be lost. If you're bad, then you're going to be on the losing teams more often than the winning teams. It's you know, it's it's a tough reality to face. Not everybody can be diamond. Not everybody can be challenger, or platinum, or whatever. You know, I probably won't ever make it to gold even, unless I'm getting carried by people. Honestly, like, or if I put a lot of time into learning how to play the game better. That's the big thing, is learning how to play the game better, climbing the ranks. I got 6 minutes left on this video, I think, and I don't really know what to say at this point. Does the enemy team have a Master Yi? No. There was a game that I played as Tarek. I'm just kind of reminiscing now. There's a game I played as Tarek where I went 1v1 versus E. I was Tarek's support. He was top lane E, and I wrecked him so hard. It was ranked. You know? You're going to be able to pull off weird plays like that in ranked when you get yourself better. You know, there's... And it's funny because as soon as you make a play like that, the enemy team's going to be so pissed and they're just going to give up. Like, if your Tarek kills somebody, or if their Tarek kills one of your teammates, don't just give up. Don't get pissed at them. You know, just think of a better way to play. Honestly, I don't know how many times I did that in ranked. I haven't recorded in a long time because I was playing ranked and I was kind of really focused on how I was gonna play, and it's, you know, it's not the best way to play, to be raging at your teammates. I think I had a couple games where, like, it was getting towards the end of the game and I would rage a little bit because it was like 30-8 or something like that, and they have honor inhibitor turrets, and you know, and I was not feeding, but you know, my team was, and you just get frustrated, you know, and I shouldn't have. Thinking about it, I really should have not, you know, ever complained to anybody. It's just the worst way to go about playing this game, honestly. It's gonna make you worse at this game. Figuring out ways to make the best of bad situations is going to make you the best in this game. Because if you can work yourself up from behind, you know, everybody else is used to, you know, working while they're ahead, working really hard. You know, as soon as they start to fall behind, then they're gonna really, you know, lose their, you know, ability to play well, and they're gonna play worse than their best. You know, if you're frustrated, if you're in certain situations, you're not gonna play your best. That's the psychologist in me coming out. If you guys didn't know, I am a psychology student at college. If you are not in the right state, then you are not gonna win games because you're not gonna play your best. It's best to be calm and relaxed, and you know, paying attention to the game. It's best to, you know, eat right and exercise. Honestly, there's some really good advice, you know, as far as non-league advice, you know, that I could possibly give you here in this last couple of minutes. You know, do things other than league. Like, if you really want to make this your hobby and your passion, you know, go for it and play a couple hours a day or more. And but do other things also. I mean, like, I walk my dog to stay in shape. I play with my dog. I wanted to be a dog trainer for a long time. We work on tricks all the time. Does it make me a better league player? Yeah, honestly, it makes me better at everything. You knowing more things about things just makes you better. You see different patterns and you see different relationships between things, and so being smarter in general is going to make you better at this game. Along from that, you know, exercising and eating well, like eating foods that are going to keep you mentally alert. Like, not like energy drinks. I'm talking like if you go and eat a bunch of carbs, then you're going to be all like lazy and tired when you're playing. If you eat like you're going to go exercise, you know, then you're going to be mentally sharp and good at the game. And that's just the way it is, you know. I don't always do all these things, but you know, there is a marked improvement when I'm playing, you know, when I do these things. It looks like we're about to finish this game up, so I guess I'll just go for a recap real quick. Thanks for watching, if you did. If you want to get out of your ranked league that you're in right now, focus first on being a better player. Don't focus on hating other people or raging or trolling or all those other things. And don't think of yourself as a victim because you're getting screwed by the league system. Focus on becoming a better player, and that is going to make the biggest improvement on your game. So, it looks like we're just about to win. It's so close here. Being a better player is going to get you higher in the rank system than you ever thought you'd be. That is the best way to win this game. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you later.